Thank you very much, team. It's a pleasure to be here. Just very quickly, I am going to tell us about Zelira Therapeutics and why we are a value-driven company in the cannabinoid science space. So Zelira is a very unique company because across the board, we are a quintessential biopharmaceutical company that is focused on developing medicines from cannabinoids, from the cannabis plant. So we are not we don't grow, we don't process, we don't dispense cannabis in the parlance of the industry. You say we don't grow pot, we don't do weed, but we create proprietary medicines. We validate them clinically, we commercialize them. And what's very beautiful about Zelira is that we're doing all of that. And we are fast tracking. We have a model by which we can fast track the development of these drugs in the right markets. And we are generating revenue while doing that. So the takeaway from Zelira is that we are a biopharmaceutical company doing hard science clinical research on cannabinoid-based products out of our Australia program. We have access to the world's most emergent or fastest growing market for cannabinoid-based medicines, where we can validate those medicines, commercialize them, generate revenue, and drive value with a focus on therapeutic needs that are very important and unmet. So very quickly over the next few slides, I want to share with you what we do at Zelira. We've really broken our play at Zelira into two aspects where we focus on the primary, what we call the RX play, that is based on drugs that we formulated, and in most cases patent protected. We've clinically validated, we're commercializing, but they contain the THC, which is tetrahydrocannabinol from the cannabis plant. In markets like Australia, where cannabis is legal on the federal level, we're able to conduct classic clinical research and commercialize them. In markets like the United States, where we have more than 35 states with either a medical and some form of adult use program, what we do is we're able to do that through licensing. The second arm of our business, and one more point about the RX part of our business, is it gives us medium to long-term value, both for the company and for our investment community. The second part of our business that is very interesting is that we play in the OTC, or over-the-counter space, where we can develop hard science-backed products that are derived from cannabinoids from hemp. And in the markets where we can commercialize those directly, it gives us control. We generate revenue both in the short, medium to long term. So as we go through the rest of the slides very quickly, I just want you to keep in mind that Zelira drives value both in the RX and in the OTC space as a biopharmaceutical company focused on cannabinoids. Next slide, please. So Zelira is already generating revenue from multiple streams. The first one, which I will talk about very quickly, is our Launch and Learn program. I'll speak about that just quickly. Those are RX focused, where we're able to launch a product into the marketplace with a focus on specific indications such as autism and age disorder. With regards to autism, we already have 2 products coming out of that program that are already commercialized in the United States and in Australia. Prescribers and patients can access them, and they're generating revenue. On the OTC side, we took a focus on the oral care product, and the first iteration of that is a toothpaste that has been launched both in the United States and has been licensed and launched as well in the UK. In that space, we're already generating revenue as well. Later this year, the Zelira dermatology program we'll be launching 5 additional products, 5 new products coming out of that space, and we'll start generating revenue for us as well. In addition, 2 very interesting focus that puts us very squarely in that biopharmaceutical space are our clinical trials, which I would discuss very quickly. We've already read out the first of which is our insomnia study, which gives us to date the world's most advanced clinical data on the treatment of insomnia with cannabinoid-based medicine. We've also read out results from our opioid sparing studies, and we have studies ongoing on autism. And later down this year, we've communicated some additional very deep pharmaceutical focused research on chronic pain and GI-related issues. Next slide, please. So very quickly on the launch, learn, and develop model. This is one of the models that allows us, especially in the United States, because of the program in the United States where where by fiat and by law in some states, we can, the state has already pretty much told us a list of conditions. Take Pennsylvania, for example, in the United States, where cannabis has already been approved for treatment of up to 23 conditions. There we can immediately formulate a product based on the hard science, launch it into the marketplace, partner with the right groups that are affected or use the product, learn about how the product is impacting the conditions or impacting quality of life, take that real world data, and we can then do one of 2 things. We can either use it in additional product development or use it to improve the products that already been developed. Because we have access to the only country in the world where we can do clinical research on cannabis and then do R&D work and be reimbursed for it, which is in Australia, we also have that option to pipe the further development of that product into our Australia program. So this is how we can rapidly commercialize products into the marketplace. And we've done it with a target on autism. This slide is really here just to show you that the market opportunity is large. And we are already playing in 3 of these markets. I just to illustrate, it's a very, very, very large market. We play in Australia, we have footprints in Germany, and we have access to the world's largest commercial market for cannabinoid-based medicines, which is the United States as well, and other global emerging markets. Not only is Zelira very, very busy developing drugs, commercializing them, we're doing that in multiple countries at the same time. In 2020, Zelira is a company that was born through a merger of Zelira Therapeutics and Zelira Therapeutics in January of 2020. And in just the last 15 to 16 months, Zelira has launched 6 products in multiple countries, in Australia and in the United States, as well as executed distribution deals in the UK with footprints and our eyes on the emerging German markets. So we're busy launching products, generating revenue, clinically validating them, and doing it across multiple markets across the world. Next slide, please. Very quickly over the next few slides, remember I said to you that Zelira has a 2-pronged approach. We are developing products, commercializing them in the RX space and in the OTC space. Within the RX space, we developed Hope, a range of products that target cluster symptoms associated with autism. Since we launched this product in the United States, we've gathered real life data, published this into a white paper based on our launch, learn, and develop model. We've been able to take this product across multiple state programs in the United States through licensing deals that are lucrative to Zelira and generating revenue, but also take that packet and do a tech transfer to Australia, where this product under the auspices of the TGA Special Access Program is available to prescribers and patients for autism. This is a very, very important market for us because the space of autism spectrum disorder has one of the largest signal to noise ratio. Ask a parent or a ward with a child with autism, they'll tell you that your therapy works or not in relatively short order. We've been very pleased with the results we're seeing. This product continues to expand. Next slide, please. Still within that Rx play is our drug called Zenivol. Like I said earlier, this is the world's most advanced drug for treating chronic insomnia that is cannabinoid based. We read out the results from our clinical trial. It met its safety and efficacy endpoints for insomnia. This product is launched in Australia. It is available again under the special access program to prescribers and patients. It is generating revenue for us, and we are looking to expand it into other global markets. The market is very huge and unmet for insomnia, and this product holds great promise. Switching very quickly to the OTC side of our business, we focused on partnering with groups that have a hard science background and commercialize products in the space. Remember, I said we can directly commercialize this. So we've done this in the United States. We've done this in the UK. Next slide, please. Later this year, we've taken a similar approach to partnering with Dr. Karen Grossman, who some argue know as, they call her the dermatologist of the stars in the United States because of her background in cosmetic dermatology. With that platform, we will be launching 5 additional products called under a brand called RAV5. Next slide, please. These products will target, next slide, please. These products will target the treatment of acne, and we've created 5 products based on a unique technology that allows us to address this unmet but very large space. So as you can see, next slide, please. At Zelira, we've been very busy over the last 15 months, as we've said, from clinical trials all the way through generating revenue and licensing deals. Next slide, please. And this is a snapshot of our company. Next slide, please. And our team. So the takeaway here from Zelira is that we are an Australian-born company. We're a revenue-generating company. We're a biopharmaceutical company that is developing drugs, commercializing them, generating revenue, and driving value for our investment community. And we are backed by a very strong board. I serve on that board, but people with great experience in biopharmaceutical, in finance, and who have been successful and have a track record in this space. With that, I thank you for inviting us, and I will turn it back to Tim for questions.
Oludare, thank you very much. Now, we've had a few medicinal companies on recently. We know it's a competitive sector. And obviously, medicinal cannabis has multiple applications, which you spoke about. How do you focus on one part of that application? Is it a focus on revenue?
It is a focus on therapeutic areas that have value by impacting the quality of life of patients. So you can generate revenue, you can be successful when you focus on an area that has impact. And by doing that, when you impact a space like autism, you in return are successful, but you do that by doing good.
And obviously a very different market, autism to insomnia. How do you go through the regulatory process in regards to something, in regards to autism, for example?
Well, it depends on where you are. So in the United States, where by fiat, we have multiple states that have a medical program or a medical and an adult use program. is very, very different from Australia, where at the federal level, you can actually conduct traditional clinical trials. So depending on which space we play and the therapeutic area, we have multiple tools at our fingertips. Like we said, one is our launch, learn, and develop model that allows us to rapidly commercialize products, but also is the traditional clinical trials where we did a phase 1B, phase 2 study under the auspices of the TGA, which is a first world regulatory body. The beauty of that is then, regardless, let me take a focus on the Australia model where we can do traditional clinical trials. The credibility of that data then allows us to be able to really build a dossier that has a potential to be valid in other highly regulated markets.
And just one more question. To accelerate the commercialization of various products, do you partner with cannabis firms to source quality controlled ingredients and manufacture, or do you partner with drug majors to get big distribution channels?
That's a very, very, very good question. So the focus, first of all, is on quality and premium products. So all of our products are, let me take Australia, for example, are manufactured in Australia, CGMP, under both manufacturing and distribution partnerships. In Australia, we've partnered with TASAC, known as Extractus, to manufacture our products on the CGMP, and it goes through the same regulatory processes and rigor, and then are distributed based on partnerships that have access in those markets. One of such relationships is with Health House that distributes our products in Australia, with a footprint in the UK and in Germany as well.